Good afternoon. Today we will cook scrambled eggs with pork on a bone. Cooking can take you up to an hour. It is advisable to buy fresh meat, but any part and any slicing will do. Nothing should limit you in the flight of your imagination and creativity. The meat was cut into pieces of your choice. Since I cook pork with a bone, I took the meat I needed, washed it with running water, smeared with olive oil on both sides, heavily salted, and added a mixture of peppers and dry herbs. You can let the meat marinate for 10 to 30 minutes or immediately start cooking. For the marinade, you can also use soy sauce with spices or mayonnaise with a variety of herbs. It can be marinated in mustard or in curry. There are no restrictions. Do the same as you are used to cooking yourself. Preheat the frying pan. Add a lot of vegetable oil. We spread the meat and cook it until a crisp appears on both sides, periodically turning over and pressing the meat with a spatula. Pork is the culinary and industrial name of pig meat, the most consumed type of meat in the world. Human consumption of pork has been recorded since the 5th millennium BC. Pork is consumed both freshly cooked and in the form of preserves or canned food. In addition to the usual home cooking, pork is used in the manufacture of most meat delicacies and restaurant dishes. Pork is extremely popular in the Far East, in Southeast Asia. In Asian cuisine, it is valued for its fat content and processing-friendly structure. In Islam and Judaism, in some Christian denominations, the use of pork is prohibited. Pork trade is illegal in many Muslim countries, especially those that recognize Sharia. In Israel, the pork trade is very limited. If necessary, add vegetable oil and again move, press, and turn your pork. If covered with a lid, the meat will lose its divine crust, but this will have to be done if you use old or heavily frozen meat. Pork can be fried, boiled, and stewed. Pork is used to make borscht, cabbage soup, pickles, cutlets, stews, roasts, jellies, shish kebabs, schnitzels, escalopes, yavanis, and other dishes. It is used, in half with beef, to make dumplings. A large amount of pork is processed into various pork products: ham, shoulder, brisket, bacon, etc., and in various kinds of sausages. At home, you can cook pork. A specially cooked whole pig can be served on the table as a separate dish, piglet. The table can be decorated with a pig's or boar's head, especially at Easter. I would really like to cook scrambled eggs with a whole young piglet. But the process of cooking a big pig in the form of scrambled eggs, even I cannot fit in my head. If you have any ideas, please write them in the comments. I have already considered using scrambled eggs as a filling, but this idea did not inspire me to feats. There are several theories rationally explaining the ban on pork in the Bible. For example, the American anthropologist Marvin Harris explains this taboo for economic reasons. In the countries of the Middle East and North Africa by 2000 BC, due to desertification, an increase in the area for agriculture, and a great need for wood, forests began to shrink significantly. Therefore, pigs lost their ecological niche and became human food competitors. In order to save water and grain for humans, the meat of ruminants, which feed on plants unsuitable for human nutrition and are more adapted to heat and water scarcity, has become more profitable. Keeping and rearing pigs is much more difficult than goats and sheep, especially in the arid regions of the Middle East and Arabia. There is a version that pork was classified as a forbidden food due to infection with parasites. The counterargument to this version is that parasites may also be present in the meat of other animals. I have never heard of someone being poisoned by a piece of freshly cooked pork, but vegetables or mushrooms do not always guarantee such a result. Cut the potatoes into thick slices. Add a drop of butter or vegetable oil. Spices, a mixture of peppers and dry herbs, are perfect for potatoes. You can use paprika or dried ginger. We spread the potatoes to the meat. Distribute evenly over the entire surface of the pan. Fry on several sides until crisp. Let's turn the pork over again. If the potatoes get under the meat, it's very good. The meat is already ready, and the eggs that fall under it will be very tasty. We drive in the eggs. Instead of potatoes, you can use any vegetables, carrots, bell peppers, zucchini, string beans, and various boiled pasta. Pork makes delicious rich broths. It can be fried, stewed, smoked. There are a great many recipes for cooking second courses from pork: meatballs, chops, aspic, shish kebab, cutlets, etc. In order for a pork dish to turn out delicious, you need to know some cooking features. The first thing you need to pay attention to is the meat itself. The duration of heat treatment depends on which part of the carcass it is taken from. The more tendons and ligaments there are in pork, the longer it will have to be cooked. It should be remembered that at a temperature of 75 degrees, all parasites and bacteria in meat die. Pork should not be abused by people suffering from cardiovascular vomiting. Pork recipes are diverse primarily due to its natural tenderness and softness. In this regard, meat does not require serious preparation before heat treatment. It is enough to beat off a piece of pulp a little, add spices and fry in oil. A delicious and healthy dinner is ready. And if you decide to take the time and marinate meat, add vegetables or bacon, bake or put out, pork will turn out excellent. Such a dish can be served on a festive table. If you want to see the cooking of unusual and original pork recipes, please write in the comments the cooking process of which dish you want to see. Pork is perfectly combined with any vegetables, both whole, coarsely chopped, finely chopped, various fresh and pickled salads, different types of pickling. Tomatoes, cucumber, and fresh herbs are perfect. Just put them together with the cooked pork or on a separate dish. I will teach you how to cook a simple and delicious salad that will not leave anyone indifferent. Finely chop the usual cabbage, add half an onion and chop dill in any way, salt a little. The main thing is not to overdo it with salt. We have a pretty small mass of salad, so 1/3 of a pinch of salt will be enough. If in doubt, leave extra salt in the salt shaker, or add a little salt to whatever is unnecessary. The cat will not be happy about this idea. Next, we actively put pressure on our salad with all the forces at our disposal. You can always call your friends for help. They will be very happy and will always be happy to respond to your call. But you need to take into account that it's a dream to share with them. A small compensation may be required for a salty cat. By the way, he cannot wait until he gets a tasty bone, but take matters into his own hands, and taking advantage of the moment when you are a little distracted, steal a small or even very large piece from the table at his disposal. Decorate with Bulgarian pepper, lettuce leaves, and cherry tomato halves. Pork is one of the most nutritionally healthy types of meat. It contains an incredible amount of essential amino acids and vitamins that are difficult to find in other foods. These are iron, zinc. It contains 35% of the daily dose per 100 grams, phosphorus, and vitamins of group B. Pork meat promotes the activation of brain cells and tones the nervous system in case of fatigue, fills with energy. Zinc supports our immune system, strengthens bones, and in children allows the skeleton to develop properly. Nursing women should appreciate it for increasing the nutritional value of breast milk. Pork is also known for its properties as an antidepressant, not least because of the excellent taste qualities. Contrary to beliefs, pork is a very comfortable food for the stomach. It is perfectly digested and is suitable even for the nutrition of the elderly. Bon appetit and see you soon.